He comes up to bat with the bases loaded, and the other team intentionally walks him. He was the first player to be intentionally walked with the bases loaded. That's how dangerous he was.
Stay out of Philadelphia or risk a subpoena. Not many ball players have heard that, but one of the greatest hitters in baseball was threatened with exactly that, yet still went on to become the standard by which second basemen are still measured. And what about that brand new luxury automobile promised to the 1910 American League batting champion? Who was going to win it? Stay with us. We're about to tell his story.
Chief Bender,
Rabbit Moranville,
Big Ed Delahanty,
Jack Chesbro,
Cap Anson,
Mordecai Three Fingers Brown.
Welcome to Lost Names of Fame, home to the early legends of America's pastime, whose memories grace a space in baseball's National Hall of Fame, but whose rich lives and storied achievements have become covered with the dust of time. In today's installment, we introduce you to Napoleon Lajoie, elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame as part of the class of 1937.
Napoleon was born September 5th, 1874. One of 11 children, it wasn't long before he was working in the local textile mill. As he matured, he began playing semi-pro baseball for a few of the local teams in his hometown. His reputation grew, and his talent began to attract attention.
In 1896, at the age of 22, Napoleon left Rhode Island to join the Fall River Indians, a Class B team. According to legend, he was working in the local stables, caring for the horses and doubling as a cabbie.
There I am, making $30 a month when this man offers $100 a month to play baseball. Will I sign? Where's your contract? He fumbles around, then says, just sign this envelope. We'll make it official later.
Napoleon led the team in hits, batting average, doubles, triples, and home runs. And someone was paying attention. The Philadelphia Phillies of the National League. And so the 6'1", 195-pounder began his major league career in August of 1896, playing first base against the Washington Senators.
Phillies owner Colonel John Rogers told Napoleon that he and his other star player, Big Ed Delahanty, were being paid the same. But seeing the pay stub, Napoleon knew he was making $400 a year less than Ed. He confronted Rogers and demanded a raise. After arguing back and forth, Rogers agreed to an extra $200. But for Napoleon, the damage had been done.
I felt I had been cheated, so I was determined to listen to any reasonable offer from anyone else.
That offer came from the Philadelphia Athletics. In 1901, the American League was created, and with the blessing of new league owners, they began rating National League teams for their best players.
They offered to sign Nappy to a $24,000 four-year deal. And Nappy was more than happy to say yes. Considered the first superstar to join the new league, Nappy was an instant hit at the box office. And so were the A's.
He comes up to bat with the bases loaded, and the other team intentionally walks him. He was the first player to be intentionally walked with the bases loaded. That's how dangerous he was.
As good as it was, Colonel John Rogers was far from done. He began legal proceedings to prevent Napoleon from playing anywhere else, using a method meant to keep baseball players the property of the teams they played for. It was an early version of the reserve clause.
So in April of 1902, at the start of the new season, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court upheld the reserve clause in contracts between players and National League clubs. It was what Rogers had hoped for. A man was now barred from playing baseball for any other team.
James Hart, president of the Chicago National League team.
Napoleon will be jailed if he continues to play in the American League.
Author David Fleitz explains the situation further.
He winds up signing with Cleveland. So he goes to Cleveland. Now, the only problem here is he can't set foot in Pennsylvania or he will be arrested. There was a warrant out for his arrest for violating the court order and not going back to the Phillies. So for the rest of the 1902 season, he can't play in Philadelphia against the A's, and he can't travel through Pennsylvania to go to the eastern states. So he spent some time on the sidelines in 1902.
It was challenging, but they managed it, and Nappy was able to continue playing in the American League. In 1903, the leagues formed a working agreement, and the injunction was finished.
Rogers' last attempt to maintain control was foiled, and the crisis ended.
The Cleveland Broncos, or Blues as the press liked to call them, were a struggling American League franchise in need of a boost. Many thought they would fail, but Napoleon changed everything. Nappy arrived June 4th, and the team responded well. They finished in 5th place at 69-67, the first winning record for the franchise. Napoleon hit .378, leading the league in hitting.
Now, before the beginning of the 1903 season, a Cleveland Press readers' poll showed the fans wanted to change the team nickname to Naps in honor of Nappy. Management said yes. And 1903 saw them finish 77-63, with Napoleon again leading the league with a .344 average.
From 1904 through 1907, Napoleon hit well over .300, while an American League pennant continued to evade him. Then in 1908, at the age of 33, his average dipped to .289. Having become player manager in 1905, the strain had become too much. So for the 1909 season, he quit managing and watched his average jump to .324. Though he had an outstanding year at the plate, Cleveland could only finish 6th, so still, no pennant was on the horizon. Then, as the 1910 season began, a new challenge greeted him. And this was a challenge too tempting to ignore. Now, the batting title of 1910 involved more than bragging rights over his most consistent rival, Ty Cobb.
I really wanted to win that car. But more than that, I really wanted to beat Cobb.
The 1910 American League batting race became known as the automobile race, as the winner was going to drive home in a luxury car, a brand new Chalmers Model 30. As the season came down to the final weekend, Ty Cobb, hitting .385, sat out the last 2 games. Lajoie, trailing Cobb by 9 batting points, had a doubleheader against the St. Louis Browns.
That's where things get interesting.
Maybe due to a dislike for Cobb, Browns player manager Jack O'Connor had his third baseman play exceptionally deep, meaning Nappy could lay down an infield hit almost any time.
I went 8 for 8 that day.
Even with the help of the Browns, Nappy still finished the season hitting .384, 1 batting point short of Cobb. So American League President Ban Johnson declared Cobb the winner.
Or maybe not. Because in his last at-bat, Napoleon reached first on a wild throw, originally ruled an error.
But the Browns coaches tried to bribe the official score to change it to a hit.
It failed. The league investigated, and that resulted in the informal lifetime ban for those Browns coaches from the major leagues. But as a final gesture, the Chalmers Motor Car Company rewarded both men with a new car. That should have settled it. It didn't. "71 years later, there was an amazing discovery. In reviewing the 1910 season, it was discovered that Cobb had one of his games counted twice, so his adjusted batting average should have been .383. Lajoie, hitting .384, would have won the batting title.
22 years after his death, Napoleon could rest easy, now officially having beaten his rival and nemesis. Napoleon continued to have personal success, even if his team didn't. And in 1913, at the age of 39, he hit .335. The last time he would hit over 300 in his major league career.
In 1914, he hit .258, but was able to join Cap Anson and Honus Wagner in the 3,000 hit club. The Naps finished last, and Lajoie requested a trade, so he was sold back to the Philadelphia Athletics.
It was a chance to play for Connie Mack. I wasn't going to miss that.
1915 saw Nappy hit .280 for the Connie Mack-led Athletics, but the team finished with a dismal 43 wins. 1916 was worse, as he hit just .246. It looked as if the career of Napoleon Lajoie, the kid from Rhode Island, was over.
Not just yet.
In 1917, he signed with the Toronto Maple Leafs. No, not those Maple Leafs, the baseball Maple Leafs of the International League. He signed as player manager and went on to win the league's batting title, hitting .380.
And for the first time in my career, I won a pennant.
His final season was 1918 with the Indianapolis Indians of the American Association, again as player manager. They finished third, and with that, Nappy said his goodbyes to the game. His career numbers are staggering. Lifetime .338 batting average, 5 batting titles, 3,252 hits. Only one final honor was waiting, and in 1937, at age 63, Napoleon became a member of the second class of the Baseball Hall of Fame. Even today, more than 100 years since he laced up a pair of cleats, he is still considered the standard all second basemen are judged by.
Napoleon lived quietly until February 7, 1959, when he died in Daytona Beach, Florida, at age 84.
In 1999, he was ranked number 29 on the Sporting News list of the 100 greatest baseball players, and was also a nominee for the Major League Baseball All-Century Team. He left behind a legacy that can only be described as unmatched. As long as baseball exists in the American landscape, he will always be remembered as one of the great lost names of fame. On our next Lost Names of Fame, we'll take a look at the short life and career of Big Ed Delahanty, a career .346 hitter who played for 4 major league teams over a 15-year career, but who was kicked off a train for drunk and disorderly behavior, only to be found a week later at the foot of Niagara Falls. Join us then, and remember, those lost names of fame were once great and always remembered.